Time to get your fix. It's the Horrible Gaming Awards. With Zachariah, a tiny wizard, and Phil Billy too. We're getting down with the foundation. It's what we're gonna do, yeah! Horrible Gaming Awards.
Welcome to the 4th Annual Horrible Game Awards, and now your hosts, Zachariah, Neil, aka a Tiny Wizard, and Phil Billy 330.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Quantum Stadium. That is right. You heard my wife's voice. That means it is time for the Horrible Game Awards 2022. But I am not alone. For this special show, the Triforce is complete. They're all here, ladies and gentlemen, with me. That's right. Flash that Triforce. With me is first my podcast host on the Standard,
Neil, a.k.a. Tiny Wizard.
Then he's the Buildmaster General, ladies and gentlemen. Ain't scared, never been scared. Our third co-host.
I'm gonna be scared. Phil Billy 330. What's up?
That's right. The Foundation, unified in Triforce land. And we're here to do it. We're here to break down our community and our favorite games and game experiences of the year. And we're really excited about this. Sorry, my voice still sucks. So, that being said, I do want to just throw it out there, give you guys the special rules that we go by to get this. We're going to do it at the top. I think I did it in one other award already because we filmed these out of sync. So you might hear it twice, but I'm just going to do it now and we won't have to worry about doing it again. The way we decide these awards, the people who are most influential to our community and most interactive with our community are selected and invited to help us nominate the awards. However, we take any nominations from any Discord or random comments very seriously as well. After we decide the nominations, being games that are most nominated by the entire group overall, or games that are just overall very impactful, we then all get to vote. Neil and Phil have 3 votes each. Every other person who is part of this nomination committee has 2 votes. They can split them between anything. I also have 3 votes. However, I only ever use 2. I vote first. Everybody else votes anonymously. And then I only spend that last vote in the case of a tie. So that is how we decide these things. These are your picks. This is the community at large has selected these as the finest for us. So are you guys excited?
Harry.
If I'm paid enough, I can be.
Okay, well, we've made $9.60 to date. I mean, it's not enough to cash out yet, but
hey, that's something though.
Is that off the
Nothing.
Is that off the ad?
the ads on Anchor. Anchor pays you. Anchor pays you an incredibly small amount to advertise their own stuff. So that's where we've made all our money so far.
We're so close to being able to split a quesadilla at Taco Bell.
Yeah, getting that Mexican pizza with sour cream. All right, listen. One thing that is different this year, we actually have visuals, which is very exciting. So we get to see all 3 of us. People on the audio, though, it will be the same show. You're not going to miss too much other than us flashing Triforce signs and whatnot. And to be honest, nobody can see me anyway, just because of the way we have to record. So, all right. So with that said, let's go to our first award. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back.
Best Game Soundtrack of 2022.
All right, hello. My name is Zachariah with Old Man Gaming. As we record these and film them out of sequential order. Right now, it's just me. Neil and Phil Billy got lost after they went to the bathroom in the Quantum Studio, so they have not made it back yet. So I'm going to handle this one as your host, but I'm not alone. I'm almost never alone, guys. With me is a celebrity guest presenter who has been with this channel and a pivotal part of this community for going on 2 or 3 years now, and that is the wonderful William Holwyn. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Hi! Exclamation point.
Yes!
Go in here.
Yes. Can I say right off the just for everybody out there, since you decided to do this, I was going to coach you to say hi exclamation point when we did the award, and I'm so tired today I forgot to. He did that all by himself. That's great. That's great. It's
I knew.
Linked
I knew
up.
it was.
We're linked up.
I needed to do it.
It's a good connection. Good connection. Welcome, William. Thank you for doing this. This is your first year presenting.
It's the first time. I hope it won't be the last.
It's overdue. It's overdue.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. I've been listening to you for quite some time, and being part of the Horrible Game Awards is definitely great.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. Every time a podcast comes out, I'm waiting for that high exclamation point to pop up in the comments.
Well, I mean, I'm waiting for Wednesday, so I'm always quite ready. I'm at
Nice.
work. I need
Nice.
some entertainment.
Well, we are happy to have you, Will. It has been way overdue, even for just a guest spot. But you are here with a purpose today, and that is to celebrity present for an award, and that award is Best Soundtrack of 2022. Now, just so that everybody knows exactly what goes into this particular award, this is not one of the carryover awards. This must be a best soundtrack from a game that was released in the calendar year of 2022, or the last 2 months of 2021, as we do our cutoff at December. With that being said, I'm going to hand it over to the celebrity presenter. What are our nominees for Best Soundtrack of 2022?
All right, so the nominees are Midnight Fight Express, Sonic Frontiers, Metal Hellsinger, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Shredder's Revenge.
Put you back together, indeed. I squish turtles like a tight girdle. Any obstacle, I clear it like a high hurdle. My stomach cringes for all of you fake ninjas. Fighting you are winless, show you what revenge is.
I just want to say right now, me personally, I have never been happier with this particular award as far as these nominees go. I'm so happy that these are in here. But celebrity guest presenter gets to go first. What do you think about these awards, these award nominees?
Well, I'll be honest here and say that I've only played Shredder's Revenge.
Okay.
So, of course, this is one that I greatly enjoyed. The soundtrack was quite a banger. But I've heard some music from Sonic Frontiers, and I wouldn't be upset if Sonic won, because this is definitely a great soundtrack.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I stepped
For
in
the
too early.
other two, I kind of know what they are. I think Metal Hellsinger is the first-person game.
Yeah.
But I'm not familiar enough with the soundtrack to talk about it. And Midnight Fight Express, once again, I know a bit how it looks, but yeah, I can't say much on those two.
I will. I'll go ahead and pick up where you left off. Midnight Fight Express is really heavy fighter synth sort of soundtrack that has just a great like that kind of fighter beat all the way through. And honestly, I had some problems with the longevity of Midnight Fight Express. I reviewed it very well, but as I played it, I kind of found more problems with it, more things about it that I didn't like, kind of reducing my love of it a little bit. The soundtrack never wavered. I thought the soundtrack was phenomenal. Every time I booted it up, I was still happy to hear those musics. Metal Hellsinger is the first-person shooter, and from what I understand of the gameplay, you actually get like points and beat the game by like playing it to the beat of the metal, like in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. All right. So the soundtrack is very important in the game. Yeah.
Now, I will say, Neil has a little bit of a bias against games that are nominated in this category that have licensed music on it, and Metal Hellsinger is all licensed music. I don't have that bias. I've got to say, I think if you put the right songs in, and this game is literally completely based off the music, so even though it's licensed music, I kind of feel like that gives it a pass in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. Sonic Frontiers, banger soundtrack. Both of the just the level world stuff is great. The in the cyberspace missions has kind of like a more pickup. Like the world stuff is very relaxed, very standard open world stuff. But then the real soundtrack, the real reason this is nominated is when you fight the big bosses of each island.
I was just going to say, this is what I've heard the most, the boss music, yeah.
Oh my god, it's just, it just kicks in, and like, you can't get more hyped about it. When I was playing it, I was like, I actually like got psyched up. It's been a long time since I've been psyched up by a Sonic game, but when you collect all those emeralds and you become Super Sonic, and then boom, Undefeated kicks in, and it's just like this great banger song while you're battling this giant robot. It's amazing. And then Shredder's Revenge, man, you can't go wrong with that one. That is a great mix of classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles tracks, kind of with a lot of licensed tracks mixed in. What's interesting about the licensed tracks on this is they're not actually really licensed. The people who came forward and did the tracks for this, like the RZA and some other well-known musicians, they did it just because they love Ninja Turtles, and these songs are written specifically for the game.
Yeah, I loved how retro and modern it was at the same time. It was a great throwback to my teenage years playing Turtles in Times.
Yes. Way harder than I thought it was. Played it on a stream recently, and holy crap, it kicked the crap out of me.
I've played it with both of my kids. They're 10 and 6, and put that on easy mode because they're quite young, and we kind of had to try a bit sometimes.
Yeah, work for it. That Slash boss is killer.
Yeah. It was not all easy. So,
it wasn't what I remembered it from childhood. Yeah, it wasn't what I remembered it from childhood at all. It was the difficulty level was way higher. All right, so that's it. That's the nominees. Are you ready to give the winner there, Will?
I am ready.
All right, I'm going to pass you the envelope. We're going to do a little drum roll here. And take it away.
All right, so the winner of the best soundtrack of 2022 is Metal Hellsinger. And I think congrats to the game. I think it's not one that I know very well, but knowing that the music is very a part of the game, I think it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. I usually try and pick the presenters based on things they know well, but there were some that are always outliers, This one, definitely, it makes sense. It makes sense from what I've heard. This isn't a game I've played, so it is hard for me to speak to the quality, but you gotta give it up that it's just the entire gameplay centers around the soundtrack. None of the other soundtracks, as good as they may be, have that quality that the actual game itself relies on the music, the soundtrack itself, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, and this is what we voted for.
Yes.
As a committee. So yeah, I mean, I voted for Shredder's Revenge because this is the one I've played the most. But yeah.
Well, you're a perfect segue, man. Do you want to know what the votes were for this one?
Yes, very much.
All right. So Metal Hellsinger took it with 6 votes. Second place was Midnight Fight Express with 5 votes. Third place was Sonic Frontiers with 4 votes. And then TMNT...
Wow, I was so far.
TMNT Shredder's Revenge was 3 votes. So it was literally 1 vote between each place. And honestly, one of those votes was me. So I'm with you on that one for TMNT. I gave one to Sonic and I gave one to TMNT. But yeah, it's something else. And if I had to use my final vote, I probably would have put it in on TMNT if that was an option. So, but still, I think Metal Hellsinger has that quality of just the game itself requires the soundtrack, you know?
Yeah, completely. I mean, I agree. Now I'm gonna go listen to some Metal Hellsinger music.
I actually listened to one of the tracks because metal isn't usually my jam, but I've got to find the tracks and do research on it for the nominations video that I cut together every year. So now that I've listened to it, I'm like, man, this metal for some reason is actually kind of getting me into it. So, Will,
yeah, that's nice.
We gotta thank you. You are one of our most loyal and stalwart community members. And I thank you for that over the few years that we've been doing this now. I do want to give you time to plug anything you want to plug.
Well, I'm going to plug the Old Man Gaming podcast. It's on Wednesday, every week. Every week on Wednesday.
Just about.
So I'm going to plug that. And I mean, I do have a YouTube channel. If you type my name, I'm the only William Hohen on YouTube, so
yes.
If you want to go see some video game stuff, I'm mostly playing mobile games because of convenience and my life situation, we'll say.
Totally.
But yeah, I'm covering a few things. We have a little podcast, only 6 episodes, but it's there. So yeah.
I enjoy it, and I'm gonna plug you even harder. William Hohen's channel is fantastic. I have enjoyed his content. I have very much enjoyed his podcast, and for no other reason than you've titled it a self-fulfilling prophecy, which just
yes.
I love that. Not the fuck podcast, where we try not to say fuck, and that's the first thing you say, and I'm like, he already said it. That's great.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that intro and that whole loop. And yes, everybody out there, William is spelled like William, but his last name is Hououin, and he is the only guy that has that last name and first name combination. And I remember that last name. I was like, because he was commenting so much, and I was like, man, I don't want to get his name wrong.
Yeah, it's not an easy one, but yeah.
So everybody out there, please check him out. His channel is a lot of fun. His podcast is a lot of fun. And Will, thank you so much for the years of loyalty. We really appreciate it. We hope to see you back to present next year if you're up for it.
Yeah, I will certainly be up for it, and I thank you for all the entertainment you're providing me. So. Yeah.
No problem. That's why we're here. So everybody out there, we are going to be right back with another award. I can't say which one because I never know.
Best Gaming Developer of 2022.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have another award for you. I can't say where the order is because this is all done segmented. But right now, we don't have 3 hosts. We have 2 hosts and a celebrity guest. The first, my first host, he's a Buildmaster General, man with a plan.
What's up, guys? Philbilly330.
And then our celebrity guest is not only a man who is behind many successful Terrible Talks, but he is also a man who has single-handedly co-hosted a very successful internet podcast. And that is a tiny wizard, Neil Simpson. Welcome, Neil.
Oh yes. Oh, thank you so much.
So good to
for
talk to you.
allowing me
It's
to
not
do-
like we get to do this often.
No, yeah, it definitely. It's a very rare occasion, very rare treat. This is nice. I'm enjoying this.
And if anybody out there is wondering if I'm going to make these same jokes when Neil and when Phil presents, I am definitely going to, 100%. So just buckle up for repetitiveness. So we are announcing the award, the Horrible Game Award for Best Developer. So Neil, why don't you drop those hot nominations?
Those hot noms.
Those hot noms.
Spicy hot noms.
Oh God, what have I done? What have I
We can
done?
buy one of those with our $10.
Only one,
Some hot, spicy noms.
and we must cherish them forever.
Hey Zach, what happened to that podcast that went 170 episodes? Oh, I said hot nom once and I was out. I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't look at myself in the mirror.
So, we're looking at Best Developer. So the nominees for Best Developer are Obsidian, 10 Tons, Larian Studios, and Undead Labs.
All right. Now, I find some things about this interesting, but as you are the special guest presenter, you get to give us your thoughts on these four developers first and foremost.
So, I mean, to be honest, the only one that I haven't heard of is who's 10 Tons. What's
They
10
make
Tons done?
Dismantle. They make Dismantle, which is kind of
Okay.
an internet craze right now.
Okay.
And certain community members' favorite games.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see a new face on this list here because Undead Labs and Obsidian, I believe, have been on every single year now. This is the third year that we've done this, and they've been there.
Obsidian
They have been
100% has. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I think Dead Labs has been in at least one other.
at least one other time. And then Larian, I am at a loss for some reason right now. Larian,
Baldur's
what they-
Gate 3.
That's it. Yeah, that's what it was. Because
Yeah,
they did
Divinity,
Divinity. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, overall, I mean, this is a pretty good lineup. Obsidian seems to be the, I guess at this point, the Tom Brady of
This
developers
category.
at this point that just like won't go away. But there's a
his
reason
wife's
for
about
that.
to leave.
This is the fourth annual Horrible Game Awards, and I can confirm that
Wait, this is the fourth?
this is the fourth annual.
Where did I lose a year?
You lost a year with Logan.
Logan was the
Oh, that's
first
fair.
one.
Yeah.
When it was chaos. If you go back to that show, it's chaos. Our awards are all over the place. Like, when it became a show of just me and Neil, you and I actually got together and was like,
I
which
remember
ones?
this.
And then I had Phil come over and, like, look at them all and be like, are you cool with this too? And then we just universalized them because we're like, these are going to be the awards going forward,
Yeah.
period. Yeah, because the first
Yeah.
year was just like, we were all over the fucking place.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, but this is the fourth annual.
Yeah, Obsidian, like I'd mentioned, it's always hanging in there. Larian with Baldur's Gate, upcoming full release here soon. Relatively well received for Baldur's Gate. And then Undead Labs, they have State of Decay 3 on the way at some point, question mark. But, State of Decay 2 is still hanging in there.
Oh, hanging in there quite a bit. Phil, your thoughts, my friend.
I have experience with all except for 10 Ton. But yeah, I mean, Obsidian, I feel like they seem to be, as of what we know, one of the most successful yet not scumbaggery developers that I know of. Anyway.
Fingers crossed it stays that way.
Next week, that means some
Yeah.
huge thing will come. As of now, they seem to be doing well. They make good games, I would, in my opinion, anyways. Like I said, don't know much about 10 Ton. I'm a big fan of Larian. They did great things with the Divinity series without a ton of money, and now they have like all the money since they got the contract for BG3, and I'm really excited to see. I feel I've played quite a few CRPGs lately, and they have my favorite. What do you call that? Like the way their game works, like
an engine.
Yeah,
Systems,
I like their systems and like their menus and I think they
UI.
just do a good UI. Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they do a good job of that. So I'm excited to see what they can do, and they've been pretty good about. Although Baldur's Gate's been in early access for like 2 years already, over 2 years, they haven't made any false promises, and they've been doing updates and doing their panels from hell to keep the community involved. And then you could say the same for Undead Labs. I mean, I don't play the game, but I know with what's it called?
Forever Communities, or State of Decay 2.
State of Decay 2. They're still to this day they're doing updates and again having panels for their fans to keep their fans up to date, and it seems like they take a lot of input from their community. So I give them props for that.
I think that I have had a good amount of interaction with two of these developers. I am very well aware of Larian. I was a little bit lesser known on 10 Tons. I did a little research. I think one thing is to be said about the developer category when it comes up on the Horrible Game Awards, and you can see in the nominations, is that we value companies that are A, transparent, have great community, B, have great community support, and C, aren't horrible nightmares. And I think that that's a really awesome thing. And the transparency and community support is what I'd like to hone in on. All four of these companies are amazing at that sort of thing. You look at Obsidian and what they've done with Grounded over the last couple of years, and I think they've done a stunning job with it. One of the best early accesses, start to finish, that I think we've ever seen. 10 Tons and Dismantle, I don't know as much about it, but they are very receptive to, fans, community. Larian, I want to give them special props because that's another early access that they've been handling really well. I don't hear anybody super mad at Baldur's Gate 3. Now they have a release date, so even if you were, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like they've been handling that situation very well. They've been working through it very well. I think that's a big reason that they're on this list. And then, of course, Undead Labs, State of Decay 2, they have a weekly stream where they tell all their fans everything they're working on. They have public test servers that that's how they build their new updates. And the Forever Communities update that they launched this year, as well as some other ones. Plague Territories came in this year. And I don't know if I think the Homeland map was the year before. But still, a lot of stuff. They just release stuff constantly. And the Forever Communities stuff, the amount of quality of life improvements they made on a game that is over 4 years old is astounding to me. It's like a completely different game if you played it now compared to when it started. And I played both. So it's very interesting. So with that said, I think it's time to find out who the winner is. I'm going to go ahead and hand Neil this definite envelope that we're going to hand him.
And it's coming from my left side.
Yeah.
It
No,
is.
the opposite one of the tree.
My right side.
Yeah.
Right here. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
definitely.
right here.
Definitely.
This right
There
here
it
that is 100% not
Good job.
Sam the
got it.
Salamander, the character sheet.
He got it. He got it.
Alrighty. And the winner for Best Developer
Drum roll.
is Undead Labs.
Undead Labs wins. Now, while Undead Labs has definitely been nominated before,
Yes.
it's the first time. I guess
First
it's
win.
first win for anybody other than Obsidian. I think there was no. There
The
was
change
no.
of the guard.
Yeah, there was no developer category on the first year. And then the next 2 years, it was Obsidian. So, yeah. So, congratulations, Undead Labs. I think they definitely deserved it. The amount of work and effort they put into community support, speaking with their community, and the game improvements this year was phenomenal. That being said, you guys want to know the votes?
Yeah.
There.
It's pretty good for Undead Labs, actually. People wanted to see something other than Obsidian, I think. We had 8 votes for Undead Labs, 4 votes for Obsidian, and Larian tied that with 4 votes. And then 10 Tons had 2 votes. I think 10 Tons suffered from being a little less known. That's all. So, yeah, that's it. Best Developer. Very happy with this award. You guys have any final thoughts on this award?
No.
Good job to Undead Labs.
Good job to Undead Labs, yes.
Neil, do you have anything special you want to plug? Since this is your celebrity presenter section.
Yeah, I kind of do this podcast thing from time to time. No, because all the things I really have to plug, I've already plugged a bajillion times before every single
Fair enough. Well, Neil is presenting 2 awards. Spoiler alert. So
I was just thinking that too.
if he
like,
thinks of something,
do
he can
the
always
same
just he can always just plug it on the next one. All right. So okay. Well, we'll be right back with another award, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna keep it rolling here at the Horrible Game Awards.
Best Narrative in Gaming of 2022.
Oh, my name is Zachariah with Old Man Gaming. I am back again, and as usual, we are back again because we don't know who's hosting at any given award because we do it so segmented and around other people's schedule. But I am not alone. On the hosting chair with me is my podcasting partner,
Neil, aka Tiny Wizard. It's almost as if you said back again, like we're doing this exact thing over.
I'll get it out of the way, guys. We were halfway through it. I forgot to hit record. So it's on me. I'll take the heat for it. But I am not. It's not just us. We have a special celebrity presenter, one of our most influential community members, the lovely and talented Rain Dance Danny. Hello, Rain Dance. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Zach.
Again!
Yeah.
So thank you for being here. Thank you for coming in to present the award. We are doing the award for Best Narration in a Game for 2022. And again, this is a year-specific award. The narration must resemble a game that was released in 2022, and it is specifically for the overall narration and story quality of the game. So let's just get through it. Since the first time we did it, it was a bunch of weird chit chat. I'm not going to try and recreate that a second time. So Danny, why don't you give us those nominees?
Okay. The nominees are Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, God of War Ragnarok, The Quarry, and The Plague Tale Requiem.
Okay, so now we want to talk about the nominees a little bit, as we usually do. So, Danny, anything you want to say about these nominees?
I'm repeating myself, Zach.
We're all repeating ourselves because I'm
The
an
only
idiot.
game-
They don't know that.
I already told them it.
That's fair. Yeah, they do know that at this point.
The only game I know anything about is Corey, and all I'm going to say is that I was so excited for it because I love David Arquette as an actor. I was sold on the idea that he was going to be in it a lot, and he wasn't, and I was upset. It's still a really good game, though. I was just a bit tilted.
A bit tilted on it. I will say, one thing from the first time that you had mentioned, you watched it a lot, and I think that speaks to the quality of a game's narration, that you can just watch it and be entertained by it without actually kind of being involved in it, you know?
Yeah, it was like Dark Anthology games are always like movies that you can play, and that's why I like them so much.
Well, and this isn't the first time we've nominated them for this category. I think last year we nominated something called House of Ash, if I recall correctly, in this category.
Yeah, it was one of the Dark Anthology games.
So it's very cool that it's up here and it's in this list. The Dark Anthology is no stranger to our boards, even though I don't think I've ever played one. So, Neil, what do you think about these nominees? And Danny, feel free to jump in anywhere if you got anything to say.
Yeah, so all of these here, there's a reason they're on the list. It's all, of course, about the story. But as you guys were alluding to, is some of these here, you can straight up just watch them be played and enjoy them because it's not necessarily the gameplay. Now, of course, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands and God of War Ragnarok are more gamey, so to say, than the Corey and Plague Tale. Plague Tale, of course, it's got its own mechanics and everything like that, but it's primarily about that story. The Corey's straight up like a movie. God of War Ragnarok is even shot like a movie with that single cut. And then Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, it's literally a story about a tabletop game. So you're like, it's a story about a story. Yeah. And it stands enough on its own to tell its own narrative, and in such a way that kind of weaves that narrative into the end game, you know, whether or not you actually, you know, wanted to play the end game or enjoyed the end game, it's still all about that story as a whole.
Which will be a source of contention throughout the entirety of these awards, I'm sure, since Tiny Tina was nominated so many times and Phil is hosting. You know, from my point of view, I echo most of the things you guys said. Here's the thing. I don't like horror movies. I don't really like horror games. I know. Even though I do play a few on the channel. So the Dark Anthology stuff, just there's nothing about those that interests me or bring me in or anything. That being said, I think they're really cool. Like every year when they get nominated, I have to go through and find clips of them and find the right clips to use the nominations video. And I end up seeing just huge chunks of the games. And I don't know, I'm still mesmerized by those parts. They also bring in these huge big name actors, which is really fun. Ted Raimi being somebody who was nominated this year for our best performance. I think that's really cool. Plague Tale Requiem, another game that I didn't play the first one. It didn't look like something that really interested me. That being said, there are a few of our community members who were really into the first one and really excited about this one. And again, when I was looking up in the nominees, it looked very interesting. God of War Ragnarok, I mean, it's a great narration, I'm sure. My only problem with it is the same problem I've said on the podcast. Sequels tend to be more of the same, whereas I would say that this category is just about the story instead of just the mechanics, which is really cool. And Tiny Tina's Wonderlands got me a little bit because I played it, and though I didn't finish it, I thought the narration was really well done. It is a story inside of a story, and they use it to kind of once again deal with kind of Tiny Tina's fragmented psyche and kind of get into some deeper emotional issues while basically filling it with fart jokes. And I think that that's a really interesting dynamic that they walk. I don't think they pulled it off on 3, but they did in this one really well, because I think it was more centralized and personalized around one character and her journey through her own kind of mental issues. What they were able to do that while, you know, incorporating all that fun humor. So I thought that was really, really well done thing. So that's where I'm at it. But now that we've all talked about it, Danny, you are the one. You got to bring this thing home. Who is the winner. We got to give the drum roll, though. We got to...
I was about to ask for a drum roll. Okay, so the winner is The Quarry.
Yeah! Yay! They go crowd. They go wild. They go wild. Again, not House of Ash, but Dark Anthology has been nominated a few times. I think it's nice that it's finally getting its due. What do you think about this winner there, Danny? Are you happy about this one?
I am very happy. I think every single game by Dark Anthologies is just like a masterpiece, and they deserve all the awards. So I'm very happy.
Well, they got nominated a lot this year, so yeah, I'm happy to see them both in there too. You guys want to know what the votes were? How close it was?
I am curious.
All right, so you guys out there are probably going to hear me describe this a lot of times since I don't know who the first person is, but just so you guys know, the voting, once the nominees were in, everybody in the specific voting council got 2 votes that they could split or pair up. The foundation members, that being myself, Neil, and Philbilly, all get 3 votes, which they could also pair up or split up. And then any outside votes that came in through Discord or anything else are tallied as 1 vote. With just the caveat that I vote first so that I can't see what anybody else's votes are. I save 1 vote to break ties, so I only vote twice unless there has to be a tie breaking. And then nobody else can see anybody else's votes. It is an anonymous vote, so that is not influenced in any way, shape, or form. So, that being said, here's the votes. So, it was really, it was not close at all, surprisingly. This is one of the ones that actually was crazily a blowaway. I expected this one to be a lot closer. Quarry took it with 9 votes. 9 votes. Second place was God of War Ragnarok with 5 votes. Then third place was Tiny Tina's Wonderlands with 3 votes. And then A Plague Tale Requiem rounded it out with 1 vote. So I know, that's a little rough. Rough for Plague Tale. I think that on a whole, this was a really interesting category. I'm kind of surprised at the voting, to be honest. Because usually what happens is the House of Anthology get nominated, but they almost never win anything, because a lot of people nominate them, but then they haven't really played them, so they go with what they played. But yeah, it just blew everybody away. I guess it was its time this year.
I think it helps that it was like, I know it wasn't set in the 80s, but the aesthetic was 80s, so it appealed to a lot of people, especially on this channel.
Well, and that's true. I mean, Ted Raimi in a game and it being about the 80s appeals to me right off the bat. So, so there you go. All right, well, that's it for Best Narration. I do want to thank our celebrity presenter one more time, Rain Dance Danny. Danny, do you have anything special you want to plug?
No, I don't even stream anymore, Zach. So my plug is just be nice. It's not hard. Just be nice.
I think you all should be nice.
Yes.
I do want to say that Danny's stream was wonderful when she was doing it. I vote for her to start doing it again. Just saying. If she ever does start it up again, it will be promoted heavily on our stuff. In any case, thank you, Danny, again for being here. Thanks, Neil, for hosting this with me. And we'll be back with another award. We have no idea what, because we really don't know what the order of the cutting is. So we'll see you guys in a second.
Best New Gaming IP of 2022.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Another award for you. We're very excited about this one. This is our Best New IP award, but I am not the one who's going to tell you who the winner is or the nominees. I have a host with me. That host is the Buildmaster General. Ain't scared, never been scared.
Never gonna be scared, old man fam. Thanks for hanging around.
Indeed. Yes, thanks for hanging around. That should be our that should be like our
around.
That should be our tagline. Old man
Thanks
gaming.
for hanging around.
Thanks for hanging around. We're not quite dead yet.
Hit him with a sport at the end. Thanks for hanging around, sport.
So we are announcing the award for Best New IP in 2022. For this to be nominated, it must be a new game that launched in this year. It precludes early access, just so you guys know, because I might get yelled at. But if it's in early access, it's not released. So this is the release year. So it has to have been released in this year, and it must be a new franchise. It can be a spin-off of a franchise, like if someone wanted to make a Star Wars game about characters that had not been done yet, that could count in this. So that being said, we got some best new IPs. I forgot to introduce our special guest presenter.
Again, the second time. Or, depending on the cut order, I could be the first time. You'll never know. Well, you will know, actually. I'll never know.
I'm just gonna read Neil's work address now. No, Neil. Neil.
We've started doxing. Welcome.
Neil, a tiny wizard,
escalated.
is our presentation, is our special guest presenter for two times. Welcome back, Neil.
Thanks. I feel like I never left.
Yeah. It's a weird feeling, right? So why don't you read those nominees for us, buddy?
Yeah, for sure. So we are looking at the best new IP, and the best new IP nominations are Grounded,
It's a distinguished kind of drain.
Elden Ring,
Wouldn't know. Just a simple trap.
Weird West, and Stray.
All right. Well, you are our celebrity guest presenter. So what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. This one's one of those where I'm really curious to see who ekes out at the end, because Grounded gets in on kind of like a technicality because it's been out for so long, but it's finally come out from early access. So now we have the actual game that is Grounded. So we can see how that in the end shakes out against things like, we had Elden Ring, which was like, when it first came out, everybody was talking about it. It was absolutely everywhere.
Beast.
An absolute beast of a game. And then Weird West, which is one of the one that's more relatively, kind of like a relatively newer one, and one that I honestly have been kind of curious about myself. And then we put that up against the game that is colloquially known as the cat game, Stray, with the dedicated meow button. But it itself was even a phenomenon almost on the level of Elden Ring.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's very interesting. This is kind of like a heavy hitter sort of category.
So, Phil, anything to add to that? What are your takes?
I mean, yeah, like 3 of these games make sense to me, and fuck cats. Yeah, Grounded. I played a lot in the early access years. 2 years, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. I think
Sounds
so.
about right.
I think so.
And it's a good game. I'll admit. I just kind of played myself out of it in those times, which we've talked might be the slight downside to the early access model. But Elden Ring, I never personally played, but I followed that game pretty closely. I know quite a bit about it, and it was a very successful open world delve into the Souls-like genre of gaming. So I mean, props to that one. And then Weird West, probably my favorite game of the year. New game, I should say. Is a really good kind of a twin sticky CRPG with a lot of choice and consequence, and this weird totally new idea to me, where I'm not sure if I love it or not, but throughout the game you play as 3 different characters that their stories seem very not connected, and then at the end it all kind of funnels back in. It's really cool. The only downside for me personally was like there were a couple characters I really, really liked and didn't want to leave them. But it all comes back together. It's a real good game. And then Stray, like I said, whatever. I'm sure there's some fetish out there. But,
all right. Well, I think Grounded is very interesting in this category because it is basically using a loophole to be here. It was nominated either last year or the year before, whatever the first year it was launched in, it was nominated in, and now it's nominated in this again because it's released. So it's very interesting to me. I don't know if that's fair, but at the same time, I kind of think it's cool just because it's like we have loopholes. We have such defined rules that we can have loopholes. Elden Ring, obviously, what's to say about Elden Ring? I didn't play it. I know it's a great game. It's a fucking atom bomb nuke of a game. I personally think it should win Game of the Year, and I've literally never sat down and played it. Weird West looks cool as hell. It's not really in my wheelhouse as far as games go, so that's one of the reasons I haven't really jumped into it, but it's so cool. I've heard a ton of great stuff from it from Phil, and of course I had to look a bunch of stuff up on it. And then Stray, I know I've been very hard on Stray. I don't have any problems with Stray as a game. I think visually it's very stunning. I think it's an interesting idea and I don't think it should be like Game of the Year or Experience of the Year just because it's about a cat. I think that's a little bit of my problem. I still think on the whole it's a decent game. I'm not gonna knock it. I think it deserves to be in this area. So that being said, I think we've all talked it out, right? So let's go ahead and figure out what the winner is. I'm gonna go ahead and one more time just hand you that note. Hand you it. You need to bring it.
I was trying to get my arm out of the frame to
you
try
need to get it all the way to your face, though, because remember, I've cut you off, so you need to get it all the way. There you go. There it is. I definitely handed it.
Get it. Jesus. Give me a second. Christ. All right.
All right, so
the winner of the best new IP, once it appears on my card.
They can probably hear me typing right now. Elden Ring. Oh, go ahead.
It was just...
You guys are linked.
It's
I did not mean to do that.
Oh,
I was repeating
God.
it back to make sure I spelled it right because I had a snafu already today.
I did it on the post.
No, just a simple trap.
We need Steve Harvey here. There's been a mistake.
I'm definitely pulling Steve Harvey today. That's for sure. Okay.
Elden Ring.
Yeah, Elden Ring.
Elden Ring is the winner.
Best new IP. So yeah, I think this is a great win for Elden Ring. I think this is the right decision here. What do you guys think?
Yeah, 100%. Like, this thing... I've never been a fan of the Soulsy games. I've never really played a Soulsy game, even though I've purchased them. But this is one of those that's like...
Yeah, I'm actually surprised it didn't make it into any other category we had. So of course it's gonna win this one.
PlayStation 5. I've never actually played it, even though I purchased it.
No, I don't own Elden Ring, but like I've bought Dark Souls, stuff like that. I have not played those types of games. But honestly, Elden Ring is one that, because of that big open worldedness of it, like I kind of really want to give it a shot.
Yeah. So, you guys want to hear the votes?
Let's hear them.
This was tight. This was as tight can be. So Elden Ring won with 6 votes. Right behind it was Weird West with 5 votes. Right behind that was Stray with 4 votes. And then right behind that was Grounded with 3 votes. So it was literally 6-5-4-3.
That's a good section, new IP.
Yeah.
It's contested.
It's highly contested. Highly contested. Should I give you the option to plug this time, Neil? Or can we just move on?
Yes, actually.
What are you going to plug? She got there. She got there.
There you go. It was a visual gag. And those who aren't watching will never know what just happened.
Well,
But I plugged something.
What's funny is, even though I've said it about 6 times now, I've cut off parts of the video so you keep interacting with things that they can't see. So I don't know what that was because I'm watching that feed. I have no idea what it was.
I actually didn't even see it.
I unplugged my Christmas tree and plugged it back in.
Oh, why not? Actually, I could have seen it. I probably just missed it then because your Christmas tree's in frame, so I had just missed it. Okay. All right, so now that we've failed jokes and awards, we're going to go ahead and go to our next award. We will be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
Best year yet.
Best year, always.
Best performance in gaming of 2022.
All right, so here we are back again. And yes, I'm saying back again because as usual, we film this segmented, so we have no idea where the order of this is. But we are about to present another award. But before we do that, our current hosts are myself, Zachariah with Old Man Gaming. Then with me is...
Neil, aka Tiny Wizard.
And of course...
Yo, what's up, old man fan? Philbilly 330 here.
the Triforce in the house, but we are joined by a special guest presenter. That would be the lovely, talented Kayla Simpson. Thank you for joining us, Kayla. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me back again this year. It's an honor. Why are you staring at me like that?
Because I'm paying attention to you. You're the star of the show.
No pressure, no pressure. Neil's terrible at this. We like it way better when you're on. Okay, so
It felt awkward for her just watching him stare.
So anyway, last 2 years we've forced you to present for Best Developer, so much that it was a joke last year, I think, if I recall correctly. Well, guess what, Kayla?
The same winner too.
Yes.
I can't even remember.
I think it was the same winner.
I think it's been Obsidian since we started. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, since we started doing Best Developer, I think it's been Obsidian. So, but I've got good news. This is it. First year, you are not presenting for Best Developer. Instead, you are presenting Best Performance in Gaming in 2022.
I've moved up in the world.
It's not a leveling up process. It's just bad organization on my part. It's not like you're worse or better than anybody else. It's just bad organization. All right. So would you like to give us those nominees there, Kayla?
All right. And the nominees are Ashley Birch as Tiny Tina in Tiny Tina's Revenge. What? Why did someone say that?
It's Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. You've both played that a lot. Please excuse my typo. You know what I'm trying to say.
That doesn't come out till next year.
Next year.
That's our announced world premiere. We need the world premiere noise to
Heard it
come
here
up.
first, folks.
Tiny Tina's Revenge. I don't think this is a real trailer. It's just 3 people saying that it's coming out.
It's official.
It's official. It's official. All right, so Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is the first. I'm just gonna go through and make sure that all of the rest of them are
The
correct.
rest of them are okay.
They are in fact correct. You may continue.
Okay.
I feel like Al Pacino right now.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, but I did it to you. I didn't. Al Pacino did it to himself by deciding to do an award show about video games.
fair about something he admittedly says.
What are you
he
doing,
knows
Pacino?
zero about.
What are you doing, man?
Okay, let's try that again.
Yeah.
Take it from the top.
Ashley Birch as Tiny Tina and Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
Yeah, and also like, you know, the sparkly rainbow, which goes like twinkle, caw, caw. It is Queen Buttstuff, the most beautiful and attractive ruler in all the land.
Hold on, what game are we playing here?
We're playing Bunkers and Badasses, baby! And I, Tiny Tina, am the Bunker Master. So what I...
Ted Raimi as Travis in The Quarry.
You're not gonna make it to Hackett's Quarry. Not tonight. Harbinger Motel. It's the nearest place. You can bunk up there for the night, okay?
I think we're just gonna stick to the plan, sir. I mean, Mr. Hackett knows we're coming and we called ahead.
No, ma'am. You're gonna head to the Harbinger Motel. Do you understand?
Brenda Song as Caitlin in The Quarry.
I'm gonna have to stop you right there. As much as I'm enjoying your charming machismo, the moment we step foot on the shooting range, we're playing by my rules, okay? And what I say goes. Got it? Okay, good. Now I'm gonna go set up some targets and get more shells. Do not move a muscle or touch his gun until I'm back.
Alright, so is it just me? Is it kind of hot when she gets all bossy like that?
I'm always hot, pencil dick.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Bye. Bye.
And Max Middleman as Pete in Grounded.
There's one spot like off to the beach or a day at the park. Doesn't matter the time, cause it glows in the dark. You can leave your toys home, except for just one, cause you can't leave your wingman. But that would be fun! Never leave your wingman.
Okay, so those are the nominations. We like to start with the celebrity presenter first. Kayla, do you have anything to say about these four talented performers?
I feel biased in this because I only...
You can be biased. We're biased here. We're not gonna lie about it. Say no. Kojima's Death Stranding got in there fair and square. We're not like that.
And the winner is Death Stranding 2. I've only played one of the three here, so
okay,
I'm gonna have to go with Ashley Birch. But I like all of her voice acting in general, and I think she did a really good job in Tiny Tina's, because even if I didn't actually care about the scene that was happening, her voice was so captivating that I instantly was like, okay, wait, what's going on?
Yeah. All right, Phil, what do you have to say about these lovely nominations?
Much like Kayla, I've only played Tiny Tina, so I guess I am biased in that way. I'm sure the others did a wonderful job, but I think Ashley Birch did a good job of bringing the tension between Tina's imagination and her reality, and kind of bringing it into the light so that you could understand how her inner monologue developed in that game.
Yeah, I agree. Neil, jump in there.
So I'm going to be the third one who is going to be biased as well, because I really only played Tiny Tina's out of all of these. Like Phil had mentioned, I mean, there's a reason why these guys are all in here, but I think, when you take Ashley Birch's role here in Tiny Tina's and compare it to other roles that she's had, like Aloy, she's got such a range, that she can play all sides of all these different characters. And she does bring that energy here to Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
So I guess I will be the voice for the other three characters. Because while I did not play Quarry, I did play plenty of Grounded, and I did have to look up all of these guys and find clips that would work for the nominations video. So that being said, I do want to say that I think Max Middleman is great as Pete. He has a lot of really cool lines at it. I think he does a good job at it. The only thing I would say against it is there's not a ton of lines. There might be now after the 1.0 release, because I know they've added a bunch of cutscenes. I unfortunately haven't played since the 1.0 release. I only played early access, so I've heard his lines in game. I haven't heard if he has any lines in the cutscenes themselves. So that would be my only point against that. Brenda Song, badass chick in the quarry. That's basically her thing. She's very funny. She delivers it really well. I enjoyed every way she delivered the line. Ted Raimi absolutely excels at being a creepy psychopath from what I saw of it, which is awesome. And I love that they're actual actors bringing the full range of acting into the gaming with these, because those are basically playable movies. That's what they are. And then my 2 cents about Ashley Birch. I agree with everything Phil, Neil, and Kayla all said. I think that Tiny Tina, as a character on paper, would be a very annoying character in high quantities. It would be a side character that you'd want to listen to every once in a while and then be like, I don't want to travel around with it. I think Ashley Birch allows that character to be a full narrator of the game, and you never really get sick of her. And now, say what you want about Wonderlands. I personally, it's not my favorite game in the world. I have a lot of problems with it. I know that this particular 4 is very divided on that, but I think Ashley Birch 100% delivers a just amazing performance from start to finish. And I think anybody playing it has to agree with that. The fact that, just like Phil said, she somehow argues with herself. It's her own brain, and she makes that pull it off kind of well. I think that's really good. So, does anybody else have anything to add, or should we hand the proverbial letter envelope to Kayla to open? I guess that bit doesn't really work with video, does it?
No.
I was about to say, yeah, this is the first time we've done this with video. So I guess there's a little bit of a disconnect there.
All right, guys.
The budget was spent on the video.
The budget was spent on the video and
the tree.
All right, everybody out there, it's revealed now. There is no envelope. I just texted to her. So let's get a drum roll. Everybody ready? Drum roll.
And the winner is Ashley Birch as Tiny Tina.
Yeah.
And also, like, you know, the sparkly rainbow, which goes like twinkle, caw, caw, caw. It is Queen Buttsnap, the most beautiful and perfectest ruler in all the land.
Hold on, what game are we playing here?
We're playing Bunkers and Badasses, baby! And I, Tiny Tina, am the Bunker Master. So what I
Yay! If there is any award that Wonderland should have definitely won, it's this one. I loved Ashley Birch in this. I think she was amazing in this role. Is everybody happy with that winner?
I mean, what happens if we say no?
I mean, it does not change anything, but your voice will be heard. I'll say that. All right, you guys want to find out the voting? The fun little extra voting? All right, so this one was kind of a blowaway. This was one of our few rare blowaway situations. Ashley Birch won with 8 votes. 8 votes for her to win. Ted Raimi was second as Travis with 5 votes. Brenda Song right behind him with 4 votes. And then Max Middleman, unfortunately, only got 1 vote. So, I think the Max Middleton thing is, I think it hurt him. If he had lines in the cutscene, it hurt him that a lot of us haven't gone back to it because of the early access. Not just you guys, but some of us haven't, you know?
Wait, hold on. Wasn't Pete the nerdy guy?
Yeah, he's the nerdy one.
Yeah, he was my least favorite.
Hence why 1 vote.
Yeah, there you go.
I did play that game. I kind of skipped over that, but yeah, he was my least favorite.
I do want to say, Kayla, thank you very much for being here. Is there anything special you would like to plug? Now is your chance.
No, I'm not exciting.
I got to give everybody an opportunity. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here, Kayla. We really appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to present the award. You are a valuable member of our community, and I hope you continue to be so. Turtle Power. Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me.
Thank you for having us.
You
All
didn't
right.
hear that?
No, I was like, what? about turtles?
It's my phone. My phone text goes off all the time. Like, it
Really?
literally goes off during the podcast, dude.
All the time.
I am consummately terrible
It says
at
turtle
silencing
power?
the phone. No,
Oh, the sound!
Is it from the cartoon or something?
it's
I never caught that.
like, that's what it is. It's the
Oh.
It sounded like a generic like text tone to me. I don't know why that didn't register in my head.
It never did for me either.
I get it all the
Okay.
time because I forget to silence it while I'm streaming. And Jason, if it goes off, Jason in chat will type up Turtle Power, like put it in there. All right, guys. Well, that's it, everybody. For this award, we will be back with another award. I know this one isn't the last one, so we'll see you back again. Thank you, Kayla, and we'll be right back with more awards.
Best Single Player Gaming Experience 2022.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Horrible Game Awards 2022. I am not alone. My name is Zachariah, and I am hosting with my podcast partner.
Neil, aka Tiny Wizard.
But neither of us are alone, for we are joined by a celebrity presenter. That's right, a celebrity presenter, not also the host. He's a celebrity presenter right now, and that is the Buildmaster General, the man with the plan.
Philbilly 330.
I actually should have said his name.
I was getting
I've been
ready for
saying
something.
the presenter name. I should have said his name that time. It's hard to jump back and forth. It really is. I forget shit. Philbilly 330 in the house. You are presenting the award, big award, for Best Single Player Experience of 2022. This award is presented to any game that it does not have to be released in this year, as long as it got a substantial update in this year and there is ongoing service to the game. It counts, and it has to be focused on single player play. So, Phil, are you excited about
Let's
this
get
one?
into it.
Let's
Yeah,
do it.
I'm
Get
very
those
excited.
nominees.
Our nominees for Best Single Player Experience of the Year are State of Decay 2.
And I must go.
Horizon Forbidden West.
Gonna bleed now, gonna bleed to find my love. Back on the road, carry the load.
Weird West.
Still I keep on searching, but the pain.
And Sifu.
Call myself a hero, cause I cut it.
Tough competition.
Yeah,
Phil,
this
what
is
do you
gonna be a
think?
tighty.
What do you think about these ones?
I know a good amount about all of them. I've obviously watched a lot of your State of Decay 2 streams.
Thank you.
It seems like a cool game. Like, honestly, if it were... I probably should have got into that one, but it's been getting pretty consistent updates. It still has a very good, loyal player base. Horizon Forbidden West, I know the plot line of the second one, with and like the general trope is pretty cool about, like, you know, the AI taking over and supposedly one group of humans leaving the planet, and it turned out they didn't. But the kind of post-apocalyptic trope that's involved in that cool story. Weird West, obviously that one is the one that I have personally played, so I am biased in that, and I've talked a little bit about that in some of our other nominees. And then Sifu, also never played myself, but watched some of Zach's streams on it. It's not necessarily my type of game, but it did well, and to well received praise from the community that enjoys that kind of brawler style game.
Neil, your thoughts?
So yeah, State of Decay 2, I think, is another one of those that has not necessarily been or has been on this list before.
It won last year.
Correctly.
It won last year.
Yeah.
Yes. It may not have been single player, but I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, and then we have the one that I have experience with on this list, Horizon Forbidden West. While the story did go a tiny bit off the rails there, it was a very solid single-player experience in a familiar world. Weird West, again, is one of those that's 100% like definitely seems like it might be up my alley. Good for those who are looking for something that they can just grind through by themselves. And then Sifu, of course, is one of those ones that, has been much talked about on this channel in both the podcast and via streaming as well.
Yeah, I'm going to start right there on Sifu. Sifu is my game of the year, has been all year. I think that game... and Phil hit it on the head. It only does one thing, but it does that so absolutely perfect that it's just above and beyond. It doesn't try to do too much. It does exactly what it has to do, and it does each one of those things perfectly. It is just an absolute marvel of a game. This is the only category it made it on. Trust me, I nominated it like fucking everywhere. But I love that game. I love that game. Weird West, great game. Does a lot of new stuff. Nothing I said is going to be more than what Philbilly said. Horizon Forbidden West looks like a really cool, solid game. I like the robotic monster hunting. I've heard about the story. It's not my favorite, but the actual gameplay looks fun. And then State of Decay 2 has been on this list a ton. It did win last year, and it's a great single-player game. It really is. It's just always there and providing exactly the desired outcome. So I think you guys all know my dog in this fight. So, Neil, you're good. I'm sorry. Phil, you're going to have to tell us which dog wins that fight. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to actually just chuck it to you.
Yeah, you toss that to me.
Can't catch it. Here we go. You ready? Wait, I'm tossing it the wrong way. I gotta remember. It's backwards. All right, here we go. Incoming!
Got it.
Oh, that was slick. I got to see the whole thing, and that was slick. But I'm forgetting to do something now.
Yeah, I'll get my reading glasses.
Yeah, get the weird reading glasses that people will definitely see. Well played.
All right, folks. For your single-player
drum roll
experience of the year, we have Weird West.
Still I keep on searching, but the pain...
Weird West. Huzzah! Quantum Studio goes crazy. Weird West taking it. Phil, you got to be excited about this one.
I am. This year for me has not been super exciting in gaming. Just because of my personal taste, but Weird West, I thought it was a really great CRPG that did some things that I've never seen done before, and I think it did it well. Although, like I've said in the past, it's not my favorite game of all time, but of the year, this was probably where I got my most enjoyment, and I really am glad to see it represented and come out on top.
I think it was great. I'm glad to see Weird West there. Do you guys want to know the votes?
Yeah.
All right. Another tight one, guys. Another tight one. Weird West wins with 6 votes. Horizon Forbidden West in second place with 5 votes. State of Decay 2 in third place with 4 votes. and then Sifu with 3 votes. So, interesting. Another squeaker. I love the close competition. I gotta love that.
Yeah, that was. I like these categories that you could tell. Although our community may be small, you could tell that there was some fight. In the community over these categories. It's a little more exciting.
It's always nice when you get. I'm always trying to get. I gotta go by people who interact, but I always like to get a wide range of different tastes. It doesn't always work out that way. Okay, so Philbilly, you got anything special you want to plug?
Not in particular. I mean, just keep up with the channel. We're looking to do some more diverse things coming in 2023, and I hope you guys will stick around to see everything that the channel has been doing and will continue to do, and then maybe some new things and like I said, me planning on jumping back into some streaming here and there to bring some light to some of the games that maybe the rest of the foundation doesn't play. So
That's true.
So I mean, if like I said, I would like to get back into some Warzone for those of you who may like to watch some competitive shooters, and then I'm sure I'm pretty excited for Baldur's Gate 3, so when stuff like that drops, the CRPG stuff, maybe I'll do some streaming of that. So if you're interested in that, I look forward to being able to do that.
Stick around. Okay, so with that said, we're going to be back with another award. Actually, we're down to the final 3, so I know the order now. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be back with Best Multiplayer Experience, ladies and gentlemen, and then Experience of the Year, the big one, the finale. But first we got to do Multiplayer. We'll be right back with that.
Best Multiplayer Gaming Experience of 2022.
Yo, what's up, old man fam? Philbilly330 here. I will be doing the introductions this time. And with me, I have the highly praised co-host of the Horrible Gaming Podcast. How about you introduce yourself?
The highly praised co-host. So apparently there's only one of us that's highly praised. And that would be myself, Neil, aka Tiny Wizard.
And with us, we are not alone. We have the celebrity presenter, the big man himself. Go ahead, and I would like to introduce Zachariah Van Sliders.
Hi, everybody. Hi, I get to celebrity present. Big man in more ways than one.
Well, there you go, folks. All right, Zach, why don't you tell the folks what are you presenting and who are the nominees?
Well, I am presenting the award for Best Multiplayer Experience in 2022. Very excited about it. Remember that it is not year-specific, as long as it got a substantial content update this year. The nominees are Dead by Daylight.
I am just a traveler, and I...
Marvel Snap. TMNT, Shredder's Revenge. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
I am just a traveler.
Alright, so I would like to know, since you are presenting, Zach, you be the first. Why don't you give us your opinion on these nominated games?
Okay, well, I have actually played all of these games quite a bit. Dead by Daylight, I actually have been streaming because everybody likes it. I think Dead by Daylight does an amazing job of just making a really good player-friendly game. I mean, of course, there's some some toxicity later in late game, but I have never noticed any of it, and that's awesome. And it's one of the only successful asymmetrical games out there, honestly. I can't think of that many to compare to it. Marvel Snap has taken the world by storm. It's a mobile game, and it's a card game. So, of course, I'm immediately involved in that. And while I did have a couple of issues, I did a review for the channel on it. I actually love it. My collection level is up to like 1,200 or something like that. It's a great game, and as far as card games on the internet go, you don't really get much better than that. TMNT Shredder's Revenge, I mean, it is brawler heaven as far as I'm concerned. It's from the company that made Streets of Rage 4 and another company together. It's all hand-drawn sprites. It is a follow-up to the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles brawlers, and it does everything those games do and better, with just an amazing soundtrack, amazing smooth playability, no bugs. It's wonderful. But it also allows you to get that old feeling of just jumping in with your friends with co-op, just bashing through them. And then Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. I think that the big reason that this is on the list isn't necessarily the online multiplayer. I think that it is on here because of the couch co-op. And in fairness, I think that is worth representing, just because there are very few games nowadays that do couch co-op and do it even passable or serviceable. While there are some issues in this game with the couch co-op, obviously, the fact that it does it is recognizable. And honestly, I'm not going to lie, I don't think I've played it alone. I think I've only ever played it with you, Phil, or Filthy Phil. I don't think I've ever actually played that game alone. So I guess even though it's a very single-player driven, it's kind of a multiplayer. It's definitely multiplayer tones. So that's my feelings on it. Celebrity Presenter out. Well, not completely out, because I got to read the word.
How about you, Neil? What do you feel about these nominees?
So honestly, the two biggest ones are TMNT and Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. TMNT brings back that old school, like almost like the Quarter Muncher arcade games. Just brings that mayhem back into like the mainstream, basically. And that .mu was really great with that development of that. They've been really leaning into that side-scrolling beat-em-up sort of genre that seems to be making a comeback of some sorts. And then, of course, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. That is a game that I have not played at all single player. I only played it multiplayer. My wife and I, we co-op the whole thing from start to finish. Never once did we go solo at all. And it was a great experience for the two of us.
All right. Well, for me, I'll start with Tiny Tina's because it's the only one I personally had experience with. As Zach said, I think this game, it does couch co-op, which is a rarity anymore. And as far as I have such a jaded, scarred view on this game, because to me it signaled the end of my favorite franchise as until now. The way they're handling their games lately, I just can't stand behind the Borderlands anymore. But other than that, the main story, it was good, it was fun, and I played through most of that with Zach or Filthy Phil, and we had a good time with that. As far as the other three, my experience with those games are literally watching Zach stream them, and I can't say anything negative about any of them. I even enjoyed watching the streams about what's the game called, the serial killer one?
Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight, and that normally is farthest from my type of game, but I actually think I would enjoy playing it. And TMNT, although I didn't personally play it, I remember playing those games when I was a kid on Super Nintendo, the old ones. So I think these all have a place here on this list, and I am excited for Zach to read off of this envelope that I am going to chuck through the ether at him, and he is going to let us know what 2022's Old Man Gaming best multiplayer game of the year is. So are you ready, Zach?
I am.
All right, here it comes.
Jesus. Got it. It was tough. It was a hard throw. Okay, so best multiplayer experience of 2022 is Dead by Daylight.
I am just a traveler, and I...
Huzzah.
Good job, Dead by Daylight.
I mean, really, at the end of the day, we have a lot of community members who are very into that game.
Yeah, we got that one off the hook and onto the scoreboards.
Nice. Yeah, I'm glad to see it there because it's like you said, too. I would never play a horror game, and then I got sucked into it because some friends made me, and then now I love it. So I'm with you. On that. Do you guys want to know the votes?
Let's hear them.
I know I'm the celebrity presenter, but I have the list. So, so Dead by Daylight got 8 votes, 8 full votes on this one to win it. Second place was Tiny Tina's with 5 votes. Then we had third place was TMNT Shredder's Revenge with 4 votes. And then Marvel Snap, unfortunately, only got 1 vote. So, it's always weirdly sad when that game gets 1 vote. I don't know why. All right, so that's it.
Those mobile games have a tough time sometimes in these kinds of award shows.
I agree. I completely agree.
But yeah, there we have it, folks. That will wrap up our multiplayer experience of the year, and we will be back.
The big one. The experience of the year. That's what we're going to be back with, ladies and gentlemen.
Best gaming experience of 2022.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a long night, but we are here at the finale. The final award to hand out. And it doesn't work if it's not just the Triforce doing the big one. So I am Zachariah with Old Man Gaming. With me is
Neil, aka Tiny Wizard.
And also
Yo, what's up, Old Man Fam? Philbilly 330 here. Back again for the big one.
The big one. The big one, ladies and gentlemen, because that's what it is, the big one. So we are here for Best Experience of 2022. Now, I'm not going to go over the full rules again because I've already done that at least twice. But I am going to say that Best Experience, to be nominated in this category, it has to be the best overall experience that had a substantial content update in this year, which means any games from any year can be recognized as long as they got updates in the year of 2022. And they were fun, obviously. So, this is our all-encompassing game of the year kind of award. So this is the big one. So since it's the three of us, Neil, you're going to give the nominees. So take it away. Who's nominated?
All right. So this year for the best experience of 2022, we have Dead by Daylight, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands,
She kissed me, but no.
Horizon Forbidden West,
Supposed to know that I just couldn't stay. I
and Grounded.
be bothered.
Okay, all right. So I know that there's a couple of games on here that I'm not happy to see, but I am so much happier with this category than we had like last year. I'm really happy with that. But we need to talk about it. We need to talk about what we think about these nominees. I'm going to go to Phil Billy first. Phil, what do you think about these nominees?
You know, I think it's a pretty good, diverse list as far as types of games on here. I've only played one, and that one is not my vote, actually. Like, I've only played Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, but I played that game,
You keep forgetting that you played Grounded. I just want to point it out again. This is the second time you've forgotten you played.
The reason is I haven't played it since quote-unquote release. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I played the crap out of it in early access. I should go back and play it, and I do like Grounded. Nothing against it. I just haven't jumped back in. It was just Tiny Tina's. Like I didn't think that game did the story was fine, but after that I thought it went downhill. So, I mean, I know Grounded is good, like I said. I wouldn't mind seeing that one win for Horizon Forbidden West. Although I haven't played it, I understand the premise. It sounds like a good game. And then Dead by Daylight, my only experience is watching Zach actually stream it, and it actually looks really fun.
It is. It's surprising. It's surprisingly fun for that kind of game.
But yeah, so I mean, but all in all, it's a good diverse type of games, you know, different genres and all represented.
We got a wide berth this year. Neil, what do you think about the nominees?
You know, what I really enjoy about this list is every single one of them is kind of here for a different reason. Like something like Grounded has been something that's had a lot of staying power within at least our community here on the channel. Horizon is that big single player open world. To be completely honest, I feel like it would have been a knockdown, drag out fight if Breath of the Wild sequel, whatever, Tears of the Kingdom would have made it out this year like we had originally anticipated. But, you know, that single player narrative focused game is also one of the ones that's made it on the list. Then we have something like Tiny Tina's Wonderlands that has that story associated with it, but also at the same time is something that can be enjoyed like with other individuals, be it via like a couch online play, something along those lines. And Dead by Daylight, that game that's basically just a fun general experience that is there for viewing and playing and community interaction. You know, we've got a very wide variety of games here this year in the best experience lineup.
Yeah, you know, I'm going to echo you guys on some points, try and make some of my own. Yeah, we definitely have a wide berth. I think that's 100% right. We also have a solid 4 that come all from kind of different places. And one thing I like about this set of games is that it really shows the kind of diversity we can have in this category. I mean, like you said, we've got a multiplayer game that's been around for years that's doing it right. We've got 2 big AAA games that just came out this year, then another one that's an early access game that launched this year, you know, 3 very different origins to get here. Dead by Daylight, killer multiplayer. They continue to do a great job there. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, I think that's really the most controversial pick on this list, I think, personally. I think, though, it's one of those things where they sacrifice their larger community. Well, they sacrifice their diehard community for the casuals. I don't know necessarily that was the right move, but at the same time, the game itself, until you get to the part where the diehards would enjoy it, is decent. It's good. I have no problems with it. The story is good. The voice acting is good. The jokes are funny, which I didn't think most of the jokes in 3 were funny. So that kind of stuff is good. Again, the stuff for the diehards that really keep Borderlands alive was not there and was not good, which is points again in my book, because I don't know. I call myself a diehard, but I'm as close to diehard as a casual can get, I think, on the Borderlands level. And it kind of hurt it for me. Then, of course, Horizon Forbidden West. I didn't play it because I heard about the story from Neil and got very upset with what it was. And I was like, I don't want to play it. Grounded, again, I love this game all through early access. Unfortunately, I have not gotten to play the 1.0 version, but I've heard nothing but good things. I feel like they built this game from ground up with the community to a solid game that deserves this award. So yeah, we're going to have to find out who wins it, though. And to open the envelope on who wins it, he's never scared. Nor will he ever be scared. He's the Buildmaster General. Phil Billy, I'm going to go ahead and toss you that envelope, boss. You ready?
Yep. Give her a whip. Got it.
That was a good catch. Good catch. Almost lost it. Recovered. I liked it.
I cannot wait to see how that turns out.
Oh, I know. Oh, hold on. And now, while he is opening the envelope, I will wait patiently and not help in any way, shape, or form with that. So let's go ahead and give that drum roll. Wow.
And your 2022 Old Man Gaming Experience of the Year goes to none other than Obsidian's Grounded.
Yay. What a win. What a win. What a win.
It's a good one. They deserve it.
I think they deserve it. I think they did a good game. You guys want to hear the votes? Find out how close it was?
I am very curious.
It was a pretty close one. Pretty close one. We've had a few close ones. Grounded won, and I think you're gonna notice the vote count on this one. Grounded won with 6 votes. Dead by Daylight with 5 votes was in second place. Now here's where it gets tricky because somebody abstained. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands had 3 votes, and then Horizon Forbidden West had 2 votes. So, oh shit! Just pull my controller off.
I only laugh because I know who voted for Horizon.
Yeah, I know. I like Horizon. I think that for me, the story stuff that you hurt me kept me from really going in on it when it was time for me to put my votes in. That being said, I mean, it kept me from playing it, so that kind of hurt it. I'm not saying it's a bad game at all. I'm just saying that hurt me. And honestly, I think Grounded, the way they built it from start to finish, like from basically scratch, from a 4 on Metacritic all the way up to like the 9 that it is today, I think is a testament to early access gone right. And I think that a game that exemplifies a process that is usually used to make money off people, to screw people out of dollars, to, kind of prey on people, the way it's supposed to, instead of that, which is building it up from the ground up to a game that every community member loves. I think that's the thing for me. It really tipped this one over the scales and makes me totally okay with them winning an award.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I think it also showed like the pluses and minuses to the early access model and helped me to temper myself in the future, if that makes sense, because I made a little bit of that mistake by playing it so much in early access that I even forget that it's a new game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and the thing... Go ahead. Sorry.
But I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it helped because it was the first one I was involved in. So it helped to show me what not to do so that I'm still fully invested when that game comes out,
Yeah, and the game inevitably drags you back. I've been dragged back 3 times already. I am sure 100% I'm going to end up back in the backyard at some point in the near future. So
You
What do
know,
you think,
Phil,
Neil?
it's interesting that you bring up your personal investment in it, because I think a lot of the times, whenever we think of a game, we always think about like what it is giving us, like in how it is presented to us and the way it is presented. But with an early access title like this, you know, it is also our own personal investment in what it is that we are putting into it to get out of it, and our expectations on that return. And that's a great way to look at it, because in the end, we know that this is going to change over time, and we also know like where it's at and have a idea of where it's going. So an experience that you have at one point can change further in the future depending on what you put into it. I've never really thought of it like that until you really used that phrasing.
Yeah.
I think that overall I've been very happy with this Horrible Game Awards too. I do want to point out something very interesting that I noticed right off the bat when I was tallying things. There are no two-time winners this year. No two-time winners. Every award winner, every award winner was from a different game or from a thing. There wasn't even a developer that also won with the game. There's no two-time winners from previous years. There's no two-time winners this year's. We had Grounded in Best Experience, Weird West in Single Player. We had Dead by Daylight in Best Multiplayer, The Quarry Best Narration, Best Soundtrack, Metal Hellsinger. We had Elden Ring in Best New IP. We had Ashley Birch in Performance, and then Undead Labs in Developers. So nothing won twice, basically, which I thought was really interesting. I think it's the most fair awards we've ever given out, which is strange.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming to the end of the Horrible Game Awards 2022, and this has been super fun. We do this for you guys. We're so happy you guys all participated. I do want to hand out some big thank yous before I let Phil, Billy, and Neil do plugs again. Those big thank yous are to everybody who helped us on the Game Award Council. Lost the feed for a second there. Get it back. Thank you. Everybody who helped us on the 22 Game Awards. Basically, the people who were collected to do the council stuff. I want to thank Kayla Simpson. I want to thank Danny Wharton, Ray Dance Danny. I want to thank William Houen. I want to thank Asylum 66. I also want to thank Jason, the professor. I want to thank, of course, the two people in front of me. I don't think I've missed anybody. I'm pretty sure that's everybody who voted and nominated. And I also want to thank the Old Man Fam. You guys allow us to continue to do this for just a ridiculous amount of time. And somehow, even though slowly, we are still building subscribers. So who knows? Who knows what the future holds? But Neil, Phil, anything to add to all of that? And if you want to plug anything one more time, go for it.
Well, I know I'm not going to try my visual gag again because it's not going to translate to audio, so I'm just going to leave that go. But yeah, no, seriously, like, I just a thank you overall to the community. I've said before on the podcast and in private to these guys before, like, this is an outlet for me. Even just, you know, hanging out here once a week, just talking about stupid fucking angry shit about video games. I mean, it's great. I enjoy every minute of it. This for me is something that is like a passion thing. I never even, whenever we started doing this, was like, you know, if we get paid for this, I don't even care. Like, it's just a fun thing. But, you know, thank you to whoever you are whenever you listen to this stuff, because it actually makes me feel like I'm doing something.
Yeah. Phil?
I'll keep mine short. I already kind of plugged in earlier episodes, but yeah, I look forward to 2023, seeing where the channel goes. I look forward to some games that are coming out that are more my style game. They should be coming out in 2023, and I think you guys will get to hear some of my opinions when we do our anticipated 2023 show. And then also look forward to hopefully getting back into some streaming, get some Warzone 2 going for you, get some Wildermyth back with Zach, and maybe some Baldur's Gate 3 when that releases here shortly.
In August.
Yep.
All right. And thank you again to everybody out there. And thank you to you guys, man. Without you guys, this channel doesn't work either. And this has just been a blast to do for nigh on 4 years now. So this is something else. You can check out Phil Billy on a couple more episodes of the one more episode of the podcast? No, two more episodes of the podcast.
Oh.
Because he will be helping us do the year-end wrap-up, and he will also be helping us do the most anticipated stuff for next year, which will be our first show of the next year, and it will be pre-recorded. So just the last 2 weeks, like the second week of January, we're gonna have just fan interaction at the butt. But yeah, and thank you to everybody out there for listening. This has been the Horrible Game Awards 2022. We appreciate it. Congratulations to all our winners who do not care that we made them winners. And can't wait to see what the next year holds for this and everything. You guys can check us out on Facebook at Old Man Gaming DH, on Twitter at Old Man Gaming 9. You can join our Discord, links in the description below. And as usual, if you guys keep watching and listening, we will keep making it. We will see you guys in 2022. I'm sorry, 2023.
In the past.
In the past. Well, we got a Quantum Studio after all.
That's fair.
Later, Old Man fam.
Bye, everybody.